The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is one of the most famous books in personal development and success, written by Stephen R. Covey. It became a worldwide reference for anyone seeking a balanced and meaningful life. The core idea of the book is that real success is not just about quick wins or surface results, but about building strong character from the inside out, habits that lead to long-term effectiveness in every area of life. Covey divides these habits into 3 categories. The first 3 focus on private victories, developing the self. The next 3 focus on public victories, how we relate to others. And the 7th habit is about continuous renewal. Let's start with habit 1. Be proactive. This is about taking responsibility for your own life. Proactive people don't sit around waiting for circumstances to decide their future. They recognize their freedom to choose and act. The difference between proactive and reactive people is huge. Reactive people let outside forces, weather, moods, opinions, control their behavior. Proactive people focus on their circle of influence, the things they can actually control. Instead of wasting energy worrying about things outside their reach, they invest in what they can change. The first step to personal effectiveness is realizing, I am responsible. I can choose. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. This is about vision. Highly effective people live with a clear sense of direction. Covey compares it to building a house. You'd never start without a blueprint. If you don't know your destination, you can climb the ladder of success only to find it leaning against the wrong wall. Beginning with the end in mind means defining your personal mission, your guiding principles, and the legacy you want to leave. Many people live reactively, rushing from task to task, but without clarity, they lose themselves in the noise. When you know your why, every decision becomes more aligned and purposeful. Writing a personal mission statement can be a powerful exercise here, something that reminds you daily of who you are and what matters most. Habit 3. Put first things first. Now that you've taken responsibility and defined your vision, you need to manage your time and energy around what matters most. This is the habit of discipline and execution. Covey introduces the time management matrix, 4 quadrants: urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent but not important, and not urgent and not important. Most people get stuck in the first quadrant, fires and deadlines, or waste time in the last 2 quadrants. Effective people spend more time in quadrant 2, important but not urgent. That's where long-term growth happens: planning, relationship building, personal development, health. This habit is about learning to say no to distractions and yes to priorities that actually move you forward. With these 3 habits, you achieve private victories, mastering yourself. Then Covey shifts to the public victories, habits about working with others. Habit 4. Think win-win. Most people approach situations with a win-lose mindset. If I win, you lose. But real success in relationships and leadership comes from win-win thinking. It's the belief that there is enough for everyone, that we can find solutions where both sides feel satisfied. Of course, not every situation allows a win-win, but striving for it builds trust and long-term cooperation. A win-win mindset rejects both selfishness and self-sacrifice. It's about mutual respect, fairness, and abundance. Instead of competing destructively, effective people collaborate to create value. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This habit flips the way most people communicate. Too often, we listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. We're busy preparing our response while the other person is still talking. Covey teaches empathetic listening, listening to understand both words and emotions. When people feel truly understood, they open up and become more willing to hear your perspective. This is crucial in families, friendships, and business. It builds deep trust because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Habit 6. Synergize. This habit is about the power of collaboration. Synergy means the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's what happens when diverse people bring their strengths together to create solutions no one could achieve alone. Too often, differences are seen as problems. Effective people see them as opportunities. Differences in perspective, experience, and skill can spark creativity and innovation if we value them instead of resisting them. Synergy is not compromise, where everyone gives up something. It's creative cooperation, where everyone gains more together than individually. It's celebrating diversity to achieve extraordinary results. Finally, habit 7, sharpen the saw. This habit is about self-renewal. Covey uses the image of a woodcutter who works harder and harder with a dull saw but makes little progress. If he stopped to sharpen the saw, he would cut more effectively with less effort. In life, sharpening the saw means regular renewal in 4 dimensions: physical, exercise; nutrition, rest; mental, learning, writing; spiritual, values, meditation, purpose; and social, relationships, service, connection. By continuously renewing yourself in these areas, you sustain the energy and balance needed to practice all the other habits. Taken together, the 7 habits form a holistic framework for effectiveness. They're not quick tricks or superficial tips, but deep principles for living a meaningful life. The private victories, being proactive, beginning with the end in mind, and putting first things first, are the foundation. Without self-mastery, you can't achieve true public victories. Then come the habits of interdependence, win-win, understanding others, and synergy that elevate your relationships and teamwork. Finally, sharpening the saw ensures you keep growing and improving throughout life. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People has transformed millions of lives because it's not just theory, it's a practical roadmap. Each habit on its own can change how you live and work, but together they create a powerful system of character and effectiveness. Covey's timeless message is clear. Success is not what happens to you, it's what you choose to become through your daily habits.